Good morning, everybody. I'm the lucky one who gets to work not only with this collaborative team on our Second Chance grant, but also with the county partners throughout and the community partners throughout that make this work possible and make it really strong. I want to say that part of what makes this possible is what Paula mentioned earlier, and similar to Sonoma, where we had a Reentry Strategic Plan in place that was really focused on providing these holistic and wraparound services and really addressing the at-the-gate moment and how can we really resolve and have successful reentry and reintegration into our community. I think it's really important that we got to hear from Edie today and just hear a story of success. We have other successes. Our Second Chance grant focuses not only on the Richmond area, but also on the east part of our county in Antioch, where we had a woman with over 70 convictions in her 50s, hadn't been sober in years, who's now clean and sober, also reunited with her family, her daughter. And I think what's important about these holistic partnerships is we're not only bringing together and helping these folks get past their addictions and get back to being productive citizens, but we're helping them regain their families, and hopefully we'll start to address that generational impact that and really strengthen our communities and our families as a whole. So the success of our Second Chance model helped to build on what we're doing with our AB 109 realignment teams now. As you mentioned, behavioral health and probation really out the gate in October 2011 started to have a really strong collaborative partnership around those sort of basic needs services, getting shelter, getting treatment, getting the mental health they needed, as well as starting to get the benefits enrollment piece, which I mentioned in Marin as well, as a really key piece to success. We were able to get the CCP thinking about that community wrap component that we have in our Second Chance model and the importance of it. And we now have online additional employment services, short and long-term housing, and mentoring services. Just in the last few months, we really brought them into play this fiscal year from the community that, quote, work strongly with our community partners as well. I have to say that I'm blessed moving into this role just about a year ago, knowing that our county partners are so engaged. The Community Service Bureau comes to me and says, you know, we run programs for 0 to 5-year-olds, and we actually want to focus on 0 to 5-year-old children whose parents have experienced incarceration or are currently incarcerated. That just comes to me. It's a gift in my lap to then link that up to all the other services that we have. So that AB 109 model has been built upon some of the strengths from our Second Chance model and vice versa. And one of the key pieces that David mentioned is that level of case coordination. That idea that we're going to build that mutual respect and shared learning and collaborative partnerships that Paula reinforced by having the time to sit down and communicate on a monthly basis, as well as the in-between times when people are resolving cases or moving issues forward just on that one-on-one basis. But the importance of that mutual respect and that rapport and the idea that we're really getting things done on the ground. Another key piece to this that's been mentioned is that pre-release handoff. We have to start really engaging with clients prior to their release. That model is really strengthened in Second Chance with the 2 deputy probation officers. And just this fiscal cycle, we brought on a pre-release officer with our AB 109 probation team who's doing just that. He's building the rapport, and he's working with some community reentry specialists who are going to help to coordinate to make sure that, you know, that treatment is set up and they're ready to go into that residential treatment bed, the shelter bed, whatever it might be, but that we have that handoff and we don't lose people at the gate. And the last thing I just want to highlight is the importance of the leadership of our Community Corrections Partnership. We're really lucky that the folks who were in those leadership positions in our county came together at the right time, that they had a reentry strategic plan to help guide and really think about how we're going to support holistic services and really had some of those principles in place already. And just to acknowledge that even this last few days, we've had Chief Cater here to represent Public Defender Robin Lepetsky and representatives from the court, from District Attorney, from the Sheriff, and their key role in providing access both to the county partners and to our community-based organizations, which we really wanted to highlight by having all the voices up here at the table and not just talk about them, but actually have them say what they do. So thank you to everyone for sticking around today, and we'll be available for questions.